Hi, Cheryl here from 24/7 Wellness and Living. So today I want to speak to you about spinal rotation. Spinal rotation is one of the exercises or stretches that I see done very incorrectly a lot of the time. I mean, there's, many times I'll see exercises done incorrectly, but this one seems to be done continually wrong. Hi, Cheryl here from 24/7 Wellness and Living. So today I'd like to talk to you about spinal rotation. Spinal rotation is about the ability to rotate ourselves through those thoracic vertebrae. And a lot of the time when I see spinal rotation done in classes or people doing it, I often see it done incorrectly, I must say. And so I wanted to really clarify today the correct technique for spinal rotation. So firstly, why do you need spinal rotation? Well, a lot of the time we can become very robotic in our movements, for instance. So we lose that ability to move from this thoracic part of the rib cage. And so, a simple thing like being in your car and then you go and get your seat belt, and so you'll reach across, but you actually crick your neck or something as you turn through the cervical vertebrae, and the cervical vertebrae isn't really designed to rotate, but we have this sort of section of the spine which we basically refer to as the central turning position of the whole body, and it's pretty much sort of those lower thoracic vertebrae that allow that movement. If you think about a golfer, for instance, as they sort of take that swing and they have to come back, go through, get clubhead speed through the ball, and then finish looking the other way. But the hips have to stay in alignment. So when they actually take that swing, they don't want the whole body going with it, because it's just not going to get the accuracy on the shot. So it's all about that rotation through those thoracic vertebrae that we're trying to encourage. So I'm just going to take you through spinal rotation, the correct way to do it, and how to do it incorrectly and not get the benefits from it. So we're going to stay seated here, and basically you want to almost scoop the flesh from underneath your sit bones so that you feel that you're sitting, with those sit bones sort of anchored into the floor. Abdominals in, shoulders back and relaxed, and we're going to bring one knee up. And you can either cross it over, you can keep it by your side, you may need it down here, so whatever works for you. And then you take your opposing arm and you wrap it round and you draw the knee in a little bit. And if you're quite tight through piriformis, through the gluteus, you might feel a little mild stretch through here as well. So you kind of get a double whammy from this stretch. You kind of get 2 for 1. And then we're going to take the arm behind and sort of elevate up through the rib cage. Now the focus is, remember, as I said, that we ask for the rotation through the thoracic vertebrae, not through the neck. So often I'll see this and people just sort of turn their head. But if you've noticed, this didn't turn at all. So we've got to really ensure that we get the rotation through the spine and from the correct position. So you take a nice deep breath. So I'm going to just look forward for the moment. Deep breath in, wide and low into the rib cage. You wait till the end of exhalation. And then at the end of exhalation, we ask for the turn. And you'll notice that we're turning through the spine and my head is staying in line with the spine. I'm not turning through my neck because that just leaves it behind. And then I'll take another deep breath. I wait for the end of exhalation and we turn again. And notice how that we get it through the spine. So I'm looking directly at you, but my body, my torso's with it. I'm actually not looking over there, not talking to you, and my torso's still facing you. So you really just want to make sure that you get the rotation through the spine and not through the cervical spine. So through the thoracic spine as opposed to the cervical, the neck. And then you just stay here and you keep working on that rotation. Don't force it. Let the head stay in line with the spine and then continue with the turn. When you come out of it, you want to come out with that slowly, because it's, you're not going to like coming out of that stretch. So it may feel that it'll tighten up against you. So just be very nice and slow, and you might want to counter it and just turn a little bit the other way and just relax. and then we'll do the other side. So I always start by scooping the flesh from underneath the sit bones. You want to feel your sit bones anchored into the floor. Draw the abdominals in, shoulder girdle back and down, cross the leg over, wrap the arm around, draw the knee in a little bit. As I say, you might get that mild stretch. So I'm going to be turning away from you now, so I apologise. And so I'm going to take the arm behind. So I take a nice deep breath, wide and low into the rib cage. I wait to the end of exhalation, and then I'm going to ask for the turn. And you notice I let my head follow. It doesn't lead. And then I'm going to take a deep breath again, wide and low into the rib cage. Wait to the end of exhalation and turn again. And again, I keep my head in line with the spine. Deep breath and rotation. And then I'm just going to gently ease it out. Nice and slow, bring it back, and I might want to counter it and come this way. So there's your spinal rotation. As I say, really good for golfers in particular, but just good for all of us. You know, to just keep that mobility where it should be through those thoracic. Remember, that's one of their movements. So every time when you think about our body, we have to make sure we're doing movements that encourage them to work as they were intended. This is one of its jobs. So you've got to train it in that role. So spinal rotation, make sure that you do it often. You know, you can really do this stretch every day. If you don't want to sit down, you can do it in a chair. So you can sit in a chair and you can do exactly the same stretch through by sitting on a chair instead of getting onto the floor. So you actually can do it at your, if you're working, you'd be sitting at the desk. It'd be really good for you to just sit at the desk and then just get that rotation. Make sure when you're sitting in the chair, if you are doing it, that you feel the weight even through your sit bones. So you don't sort of lift one cheek up off the floor. You want to ensure that you're actually keeping the weight down. And remember, the movement comes from the thoracic vertebrae, not the lumbar, not the cervical. That's not their role, thoracic. So engage your mind to the area that you're training. And as I say, if you're working, do it about maybe 3 times or 4 times a day. Be really good for you just to get that mobility. And as I say, great for sport, great for runners, great for golfers, but just great for good everyday movement. So remember, www.247 Wellness and Living. My name's Cheryl Alker. Come back to our site as often as you can for more videos such as this, more information. Sign up to get our emails, because this is how we deliver these videos to you through email. You get them first, and then we also put them on our Facebook page. So like us on our Facebook page, 247 Wellness and Living. My name's Cheryl Alker. As normal, thank you for your time.